Hello there, my lovely gardening friends. How are you today? I'm Mark. I'm a biotech geek and your gardening freak. Today I would like to simply answer a few questions concerning the use of soil conditioners. This question comes quite often as we are more and more aware of the importance of organic gardening. So what we do very obviously is we use organic fertilizers, which is very well. But we can do a little more than that for ensuring total success with our plants because, as we know, plants live in a soil environment, and in this environment we have to consider what is called the microbial microflora. So it is a biome. It is a microbiome constituted of an incredible quantity and variety of different types of microorganisms that live together and that help also the plant to become absolutely beautiful and healthy. So what we have to do when we do organic gardening is to enhance the capacity of the soil to encourage and to sustain plant growth. And what we do is we use soil conditioners for that. So they go together perfectly well, just like horse and carriage, to ensure total success to all gardeners. And this is perfect in the conditions of organic gardening. So when you go organic, you use organic fertilizers, and we also use soil conditioners. So soil conditioners are able to help plants to grow using three mechanisms, and each one of these three mechanisms will be the subject of a video, of its own individual video, so that the explanations are very complete and very clear on what is the mechanism of action of those soil conditioners. So let's consider the first mode of action of soil conditioners, such as this one, okay, the bioponics soil conditioner, and it concerns the so-called Rhizophagous cycle. So what is the Rhizophagous cycle? Well, it is a very, very specific type of interaction that is done between plants and a specific category or a specific population of microorganisms that are naturally found in the soil. And those microorganisms are grouped in a category that is called PGPR. And PGPR stands for Plant Growth Promoting Rhizobia. So they are found everywhere in soils, and they are very, very well known to science. There are quite a few species of bacteria and also microscopic mushrooms, especially yeasts, that allow the completion of this type of interaction. So what happens in the Rhizophagous cycle is as follows. Those PGPR populations, especially the bacteria, are found everywhere in the soil, and they wander in the soil. They are equipped with very sophisticated locomotion organs that are called flagellae, and they can travel very fast in the soil, and in doing so they go here and there and everywhere, and they simply catch all of the bioavailable nutrients that are essential for plant growth, like for instance bioavailable nitrogen, also bioavailable phosphorus, bioavailable potassium, bioavailable calcium, bioavailable sulfur, bioavailable cobalt, and also all sorts of nutrients. So they go here and there, and their role is to simply concentrate those elements in their cytoplasm, because it's a single cell, a very primitive yet very functional cell, whose role is to really get all of the nutrients that are absolutely essential and immediately bioavailable for plants. And they answer to some very interesting signals that are made by the plants, and they find their way back to the plant roots. And on the surface of the roots, you have a heavy population of bacteria that are waiting for them. And this bacterial population is called the biofilm. So it's like a sea of bacteria that swarm on the surface of the plant root. And when the PGPR cell or the PGPR bacteria reaches the biofilm, well, then you have something absolutely spectacular and very unexpected that happens. The bacterial cell literally strips naked, yes, enquerete, of all of its locomotion organelles, and also it strips naked of its outer membrane, which is very elaborated, and also it gets rid of its peptidoglycan cell wall, which is quite thin but very resistant. And finally, all you have is a bacterial cell that looks like a sphere, and the only barrier between this bacterial cell and the environment is the plasma membrane itself. So this structure is very, very special, and it is very fragile, of course. It is called the protoplast. It is called the bacterial protoplast. And the fact that the protective structures are being progressively removed one by one is a process that is genetically programmed. And once the bacterial protoplast is ready, then it sticks to the cuticle of the root tissue, and then it gets in between the cells and it starts to travel inside of the root tissue. So it's like if it's being completely absorbed by the root tissue itself, by the plant itself. But it is not absorbed for the function of being destroyed and eaten by the roots. No, to the contrary, the bacterial protoplast stays intact and it travels in between the cells of the roots, and in doing so, it discharges itself progressively of all of the bioavailable nutrients that are necessary, that are essential for the plant to survive and live well. And you have millions and millions and millions and millions of these cells doing that all at once in the root tissue throughout the entire root mass. So just imagine the fantastic amounts of bacteria that feed the roots of the plants directly at the cellular level, discharging themselves of all those nutrients. And then they are genetically programmed to go back to the surface of the root, and then they create a new cell wall, a new rigid cell wall, because those bacteria are gram-negative, you see, so the cell wall is very thin, and then they manufacture a brand new outer membrane with all of the proteins that are found on that membrane, and then they start to manufacture brand new conjugation organelles that are called pili, and also a brand new array and collection of brand new flagellae whose role is to allow the bacteria to swarm around the root and then go explore far away for finding new nutrients for the plant. And this cycle repeats itself continuously on and on and on throughout the entire life of the bacterial cells. So this is a very, very special way that plants have elaborated throughout the millennia, throughout the geological era, to allow themselves to be well fed by their bacterial symbionts, because this is really a symbiotic association. And something that's very interesting also is that some yeast types are able to do exactly the same thing. So the plant is very well accompanied with its parade of PGPR microorganisms that keep feeding it all the time. So this cycle, this process is greatly enhanced when we provide the plant, when we provide the root environment with the bioponics soil conditioner, because what happens is that the bacterial populations that are found in this soil conditioner are expressly designed and selected to encourage the activity of those microorganisms. So in there you have some beneficial bacteria, you have some beneficial yeasts, you have some beneficial molds as well that are programmed genetically to encourage the activity of the PGPR populations. And those microorganisms found in the bioponics soil conditioner are used in the food industry. So you have lactic acid bacteria in there, you have some beneficial yeasts for the manufacture of beer, and you also have some beneficial yeasts for the manufacture of soya sauce. Believe it or not, those microorganisms have a trophic effect on the PGPR populations that are naturally found in the soil. So it means that this soil conditioner is perfectly safe for humans, it's safe for children, it's safe for animals, for pets, for fish, and also for pollinating insects. Because you see, the PGPR bacterial populations found in the soil are known to be opportunistic pathogens. So very obviously they cannot be amplified and sold in the commerce, in stores, in a concentrated formulation like that, because they would make their users sick. So we cannot possibly enrich the soil of the plants in which the plants grow by providing extra populations of PGPR. We have to deal with what is found directly in the soil. But this bioponic soil conditioner will encourage those bacterial populations that perform the rhizophagous cycle. Very obviously, we have to avoid the use of salt-based nutrients that will kill the life forms that are found in the soil and that are so important for allowing plants to be healthy naturally. So we give a good help to Mother Nature by using microbial probiotics such as the bioponics soil conditioner. You give your plants a favor by using this conditioner. Well, time to go. Thank you for sharing the videos on the living soil. It's for a good cause. It's helping the cause of urban agriculture, food sovereignty, food resiliency, organic local horticulture and gardening for everybody at the reach of each and every gardener. So keep taking good care of your lovely tropical plants, your lovely vines, your lovely spider plants, your orchids, your sansevieria, and also your beautiful banana tree if you have one. And in the meantime, have a great day and we will see you soon. Ciao.